Men, fling golf fanatics around the world, are you ready? Welcome to the show that kicks in the door to the biggest World League fling golf season yet. This is WLF Unleashed with the Hardcore Harveys, the official podcast of the 2026 World Fling Golf League Pro Tour. We're diving headfirst into the 2026 season, from the 4 major tournament events that define champions, to the regional battles where legends are born, to international pride on the line in the Britain's Cup. You want the inside scoop on WLF? We've got player interviews, venue breakdowns, and exclusive updates straight from the WLF commissioner himself. But we don't stop there. Whether you're chasing a title or chasing your first perfect fling, we're bringing you tips, techniques, and proven practice strategies to level up your game. Every throw, every round, every time. This is more than a show. WLF Unleashed is the heartbeat of the tour, the voice of the players, and the home of fling golf fans everywhere. So aim...
All right, welcome to WLF Unleashed, the World League Fling Golf podcast. We are your hosts, the Hardcore Harveys. And man, we went from not having much to talk about to having
all the things
to talk about. So yeah, so we got a big show tonight. We got some things to share with you about some adventures that we've been on. We've got a lot to talk with the commissioner about, talking about fling golf equipment and where that's going in the future. Going to talk about and review the Keystone Cup, talk with our champions, talk about them. We're going to also talk about the updated points and the world rankings that are going to come out here after the show this evening. So everybody's on their edge of their seat for that, I'm sure. And then we're also then going to talk about a regional event coming up this weekend, the Tulsa Twister out in Tulsa. So we're going to bring on as special guest French Scott to give us an update on that event. And then we're going to talk about the Fling Golf Club Series, the melee between the Delaware Titans and the Keystone Crew. Mm-hmm. So that's coming up this weekend. Also, it seems like there's just always something going on.
It's great.
Yeah, except we can't get to everything, so that's not great.
I know we're not going to the Twister because we used all of our airline points to go to London.
Right. And then we've got a special segment tonight I'm really excited about. We were joined in a pre-recorded segment by Tim Durr from Fling Golf Theory with Showtime, and he did a special segment on us. We put him through the ringer. We gave him rapid fire 3 questions about the new points and the standings that are coming out, and just wanted to get his thoughts and see what he could do shooting from the hip on his thoughts on that. So that was an interesting segment. We're going to play it for you guys. And then we're going to finish up tonight talking about the first speed fling.
Yeah.
So we had several fling golfers that went out to California.
It looked both awful and awesome at the same time.
Yeah, like the younger me, I feel like the younger me would have been all about it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, before a bunch of injuries and that kind of stuff.
And oldness.
and oldness. So listen, before I get started, I want to do some housekeeping. I feel like sometimes we get wrapped up in the show and I forget to give some sincere thank yous to things that I think need to be recognized. So I wrote them down because you gave me a paper and pen. So, all right. So first of all, I want to say thanks to everyone who in any way, shape, or form supported Team USA.
Oh, absolutely.
And financially participated in the fundraiser or bought a hat, or even just sent good wishes and well wishes and just encouragement. Again, we're super excited about, of course, this will be the first time we've got to participate, but it's just a huge thing, and you just don't realize what it takes to get everything together for that. So I want to start out by shouting out John and Alex, of course, at New Swarm and World League Fling Golf. Their support has been has been ongoing, and we appreciate that. And then I want to shout out Captain SVL for all his work behind the scenes and all the effort he puts into the Team USA chat, keeping us updated. There's even a player code of conduct this year, like that. I mean, I felt like that was like another level of seriousness that, like, of course, I appreciate the rules. So that was cool. So SVL, thank you for everything you've done and are doing ongoing and are going to do to lead Team USA over there. And then the final shout out, I want to shout out to the Hoot Man, Jacob Hooter, really took the fundraiser thing on his back. And again, just kept pushing on everybody, kept encouraging everybody to get the fundraiser tickets sold. And we're able to sell out all those. And that is a large part to the Hoot Man and his dedication and his enthusiasm for it to be an opportunity for there to be some money put towards Team USA to help us with the expenses and the costs of traveling overseas. So Hoot Man, thank you very much. And then I want to shout out to Lala and her family. I know we're going to talk about the PA event here in a few minutes, but just what an outstanding job she did. And I thought it was neat because when you looked over at that left-hand table over there and up in the bar, that was like all of her people.
Yeah.
And like everybody was there supporting her, her family, her friends, folks at the golf course. And they were in it to win it. They were there for like the long haul.
They were.
So Lala, thank you so much for everything that you did to get that tournament off the ground. And final shout out, already mentioned, shout out to Tim Durr for taking the time to do a pre-recorded segment with us to help make our show a little bit better and help us understand the stats and how all the work he puts into the player stat page and that portal. That is more player information than any person should want to know. Like you can just keep
find it doesn't exist.
Right. If you can't find, if you want to know something about yourself as a player, and you can't find it, you don't need to know. Yeah. So anyway, shout out to him for an amazing job there. So, all right. So got through my shout outs and my thank yous because I always get off the show at the end. And I'm like, daggone it, I meant to say thank you. Yeah. All right. So we've had quite the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
The hardcore Harveys have been very blessed in a lot of ways. And so the first thing I want to talk about real quick with you is we had the very fortunate.
What? Who is that?
You like
That's
it? You like my little
I don't like
my
that.
caricature? Or
I work really hard to keep my cheeks not looking like that.
Well, anyway, there you go. So, we got a video planned from when we were able to and very blessed to win the mixed doubles at the
by the skin of our teeth.
By the skin of our teeth. Big Mac and Rosie in a playoff.
In the playoff.
And listen, if we're being honest,
It was a fluke.
when Big Mac sidecar out of the weeds
to 2 feet.
Like we were, I just was like, yeah, congratulations. We got second place, which we were still going to be thrilled about because we did not see ourselves in that situation. But again, I can't say enough about how well you played. Like you made some incredibly important putts down the stretch, particularly to get us into the playoff. And then, I was just, again, not that you ever wish anybody not to be successful. And I was just shocked that they missed.
I mean, after the miss, and I just looked at you, and under my breath, I was like, "Did we just freaking win?"
She did. She did. She was like, she goes, "Did we win?" She wasn't really sure what had happened. So we won.
in disbelief.
We won in the playoff, and then the playoff was a little bit. The playoff was a little bit cumbersome because we wanted to go off a one. But we could. But the sprinklers went off, so that was a mess. So we're all standing there trying not to get soaked with the sprinklers. And then we were going to go to 2, but then
there was golfers on it.
But then there was golfers there, and then golf course attendant. I think Austin also said, "Hey, listen, the way this normally works is the sprinklers go from 1 and then they go to 2, and the water's just going to be chasing you." So we weren't. Then we decided to try to go over to 2, and we did go over to 2.
Yeah. And the golfers were there.
There was and listen, nothing bad,
offense to
but
the
they
golfers.
weren't very good golfers. So
were,
like,
hitting at 6 feet.
yeah,
at
they
a
were hitting it
time.
like 6 to 10 feet at a time. So we decided that probably was going to be a long, painful adventure.
So we just went back to 6.
So personally, I will reveal this now. It was my worst nightmare that we went to a par 3, and you were on the tee, because from playing earlier, we both
couldn't get there.
knew that you could not get to that green
Yeah.
on the tee shot. So we were already looking at a miracle sidecar or clean sweep from me and a 1 putt from you to get par. So I really thought, this is not good for the Harveys. So, because I thought Rosie could probably get there from seeing her throw previously, and you almost got
I
there.
was up close, yeah.
But anyway, so we had a great time with that. I can't believe you don't like the character.
I mean, it's cute, but
It didn't get my goatee. All right, so I also want to mention here in the beginning of the doubles, we got to play with a first timer,
Mountain Man and Mountain Girl.
Mountain Man and was it Mountain Girl?
Yeah, I think so.
Was it Mountain Mama?
No,
Mountain
it was
Girl.
Mountain Girl. yeah.
Okay.
Who's only 15, by the way.
Yeah, and listen,
Newly 15.
like she's gonna be,
She's gonna be something.
if she wants to play this
She
sport,
was out throwing me.
like she had some serious whip.
She did.
And I think she was super nervous.
She was.
But like, so on the putting, it took her a while to get the
No, I
putting.
think it was just her like figuring out her touch, like how soft or hard to hit it.
Yeah.
But that I'm still struggling with that. So she did great.
But
Kayla,
then-
you did great.
Yeah, she did. So Kayla, right?
Kayla.
So Kayla and Andy, we had a great time playing with you guys. Of course, both fantastic players. Andy,
They dealt with our fussing at each other really well.
oh, now, see, you always bring. I think we're doing really well.
We start out really well, and then it kind of falls apart in the middle, and then it comes back to at the end.
Well, look, my Aunt Kimmy's on here.
Kimmy!
Thank you, Aunt Kimmy. Appreciate you tuning in and checking us out. All right, so that went well. And then
Alex is here too,
Alex is here.
as always.
Alex, thank you, Alex. And Alex, if you don't know Alex,
He's our biggest fan.
he is, and he's going to be a youth fling golfer, and Alex is super interested in, as more young people come into play, he's interested in doing a youth division like podcast or something like that, and he's asked for, if we would help, and of course once we get more youth players involved and we can do that, I think he's asked Aqua John to write a blog post or something for him also. So there's a bunch of people in the fling golf community are trying to reach out and work with Alex because he's super excited about fling golf. So we definitely want to continue to keep his enthusiasm. But yeah, so then that brings us to, you all right?
I'm okay.
That brings us to last weekend. So what do you want to say about last weekend?
Alpine Lake is gorgeous. Gorgeous. It's your typical West Virginia golf course. I mean, if you go to Alpine Lake, you'll understand from was it hole 10 why we call it wild and wonderful. Like it several of the holes were just kind of outlined the lake, and it was a beautiful lake, and it was just hilly and just pretty and really fun.
So yeah, where's my?
I don't know, honey. You did this. This is on you, sir.
Oh.
Did it not save?
I'm not sure. I can't answer that.
It's our typical. I don't know. Maybe.
Huh.
Okay, so
All right. So Alpine Lake.
there was going
so
to be a video. But
Yeah. So I
is-
surprised you
you did.
with.
He came home and said, pack a bag.
I did.
And of course, I panicked because that could mean literally anything in our life. So I'm like, is this like golf clothes, or is this like a dress, or what do I need to know? So you said golf clothes, outdoor wear.
Okay.
So that's what I did.
Yep. And it took us. It was about an hour. How far was it for us?
from Bridgeport, it was an hour and a half, so it would have been 2 for us.
Okay, so it's a couple hours from here.
Which everything from us is that long.
Up in Terre Haute, West Virginia. Yeah, so it was a cool place. And since I somehow messed up the video, it was just here. I played it earlier. But it will be coming out on social media after the show. So we've got a lot of content from our trip to Alpine Lake, and really want you guys to check that out. So tell us a little bit about the round, because
it was a good one.
It was a good one. So tell us a little.
I shot 3 over on a course I've never been on.
That's not the most exciting part.
It's pretty awesome.
I mean, it is, but the fact you had 3 birdies.
I did have 3 birdies.
Yeah, you had 3 legit birdies, and you actually had some animated birdie dances that were on the video, which is why I'm so disappointed.
It didn't help that we watched the new Netflix series with Will Ferrell, the Hawk, which is about golf, and so I had to throw some of that in there.
You did. Yeah,
I did.
So anyway, be looking for that since I've somehow screwed that part up. I apologize, honey. That was going to be a highlight of the show because I worked really hard on that video. So
did.
Anyway.
I will also say, though, I was dog tired by the time we got to 18, though, because we were throwing 2 balls, and just counting the first one towards our score. So by the time we got to hole 18, we'd really thrown 36, and I learned that that's hard for me. That might be a little much. So
that was too much?
I mean, all the body parts were letting me know they weren't happy by the time we got to hole 18. So I have some more strength training to do.
You think so, huh?
I do. Honey.
All right, I'm giving up. Sorry. Anyway. All right, so we're going to go into I want to play this clip leading up to the commissioner's corner because
wait a second.
Yeah.
We survived a tornado too.
Oh yeah, we did. We had a severe weather event here that was no joke. And
it touched down about a half a mile from our house.
Yeah, right behind, the ridge behind our house.
Literally the neck, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a scary deal. So we're thankful that we didn't have other than losing power and losing internet, we didn't really have any damage. So look at here. You got a shout out from.
Thanks, Party.
Yeah, he gave you a little tweet, Listen, Harvey.
I love me some Titus. He's cool.
All right, so we're going to bring up this segment we did with Tim Durr, and basically we wanted to give him rapid fire questions that he wasn't going to be prepared for about the updated points and standings, and just get his thoughts and opinions on players that were going to be impactful or make a move in the points and standings. So we're going to let you give that a listen now. So again, Tim, thanks for doing this, and here we go. All right, guys, up next, WLF Unleashed, we've got a special segment. We're calling it the Stat Chat with Tim Durr, because this is the guy who knows more about the numbers inside the numbers, inside of all of the Fling Golf stats and the stats page he built. So no better person to talk to about all the ins and outs of the numbers than Tim Durr. Tim, welcome, and thanks for doing this segment with us.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Glad to be here always, and excited to get into the stats. We got new rankings coming up, new everything coming out. So excited to talk a little bit about that as we're releasing them soon.
All right, so we're going to do this segment a little bit different. We're going to put you under a shotgun, timer type, quick fire 3 questions, and just get off the cuff answers. I know you've been inside the numbers. I know you know enough to answer. So we're gonna see how it goes. So question number 1. Who do you think is the player or players that are going to make the biggest moves when this new round of standings and points come out here Tuesday night after WLF Unleashed?
All right, yeah, so there's a couple places I could probably go, but the first name that came to mind is somebody who's going to make their rankings debut in the men's division, and that's Ross Lafferty. He put up a top 5 performance in Pennsylvania. It was his second event after he played in South Carolina a couple months ago, and he's probably going to break into the rankings in the top 30, somewhere around 26, 27. He'll break in, and that's really only that low because of the weighted minimum. So I won't go too deep into it, but basically, if you go to less than 3 events, you're penalized a little bit. So he's losing a little bit. If you remove that penalty, his average performance over the last 2 events is like a 15th to 18th ranked player. So he's coming on very, very strong in the men's division.
You gotta get your fling golf ancestry points in there, because I mean it's like that's what I feel like. It's like you build your ancestry and you kind of get credit for.
Exactly. You have the first couple events and you wait for them to fall off the books, but that's how you kind of get started with it. So yeah, that was a heck of a performance. I played a practice round with him and got to see him just dialed in short game. He's what we need. He's 22 years old. Those young guys, really are who we need to come in and perform like that. And so it was exciting to see him play that well.
All right, who else you got?
Yeah. So we'll look at each division. I'll throw you out a name here, and I won't just do this as favoritism, but I'm going to shout out your wife, Taylor. She she has finally hit her minimum, and as I was just talking about, needing to come to 3 or 4 events, so you're not penalized. And so I think she's going to break into the top 10, which is really around where she's been finishing those 7th and 8th place finishes. She should come into the rankings right around there somewhere, and just finally get that baseline established. So as she gets better and keeps going, she'll start to climb toward that top 5. So I think in the women's, definitely Taylor's a good shout out there. And then with the Masters, I'm actually going to go with Craig Fletcher. He's going to keep on climbing up. I think he was 17th after Delaware, and after this performance in Pennsylvania, back-to-back top 5 finishes. He's been showing a ton of performance, and so I think if he keeps coming out, and if he goes to Missouri, he has a chance to break into the top 10, and he's going to be close to it, kind of flirting with kind of that 10th to 12th range when the rankings come out here soon.
Yeah, I got to play with him second day in Delaware, and got to play with him first day in Pennsylvania, and he can play. And I'm thrilled to see him, and I was also thrilled to see Roy Neff, because those 2 guys off the tee, their ball was laying right beside mine. So I'm like, I love you 2
there
guys.
You go.
Guys, that's awesome.
Yeah, I played a practice round with Roy. He's not on the rankings yet, but he deserves a shout out. He's only been at it for like 6 weeks, and he's getting dialed.
Yep. All right, question number 2 then. Based on point standings through 3 of the 4 major events for this year, who do you feel like would be your most improved player?
I'll give one from each division again. And I think in the men's division, probably the person who jumps out the most of anybody, I would go with Jared Culver. He was someone who, the early part of last year, he was kind of a 15th to 20th type player. He'd put a 10th or a 12th on the board, but wasn't having that consistency. But if you look at his past 5 events, he has 4 top 5 finishes going back to the end of last year. He had a little bit of a slow start in South Carolina this year, but a great performance in Delaware, and he proved it wasn't a fluke. He put up another strong performance in Pennsylvania. So I think he's going to be flirting with the top 10 in the rankings and have a good chance to maybe break into the top 10, if he does well in Missouri.
Yeah, he's got all the tools. I feel like he's one of those guys that if he could, I mean, again, he's just a new father also, so we understand he doesn't have a lot of extra time, but like if he could find a way to get a little extra time in, like he's right there.
Yeah, definitely. I played with him in Delaware on Saturday in round 1, and he was a little shaky to start, but he really dialed in, and then he played phenomenal on Sunday. So it's good to see him come into it. He's been somebody who you could kind of see grow up. He started around the same time as me, and it's good to see him finally getting those results.
All right, you got anybody else?
Yeah, we'll go women's division. I think somebody who's established himself a little more, but I think they're really kind of locking in as a top 5 performer in the women's division would be Brittany Mariquin. She's shown that she can compete and contend with those top women. And at the events where, a few of them might not be there, she's showing that she's finishing where she should. She's got wins under her belt. She has top performances. So she's kind of showing up and performing as needed. And I think she's really been closing the gap on those 3 or 4, kind of top women who have stayed in front of her. So she has some good chances to keep improving as this season finishes out.
All right. Last but not least, Masters division.
Yeah, we'll go with Eric Seeger. He's showing really solid performance, solid improvement. This year he has a tied for 4th, a 2nd, and a 6th place finish up there in Pennsylvania. And, I think that consistency is, it's really just building in. And, I think there are some guys, him, Mark Thompson, a couple other people who are starting to establish themselves in that tier kind of right behind you and Doc and Cutter. They're kind of pushing on you guys and even finishing ahead of some of them. Not you yet, but they're I think you feel them a little bit on your heels.
Absolutely. 100%. Yes. I mean, it is not by any means given that I'm just going to go out there and win, because there's been a couple of tournaments where I've not even been leading or I've been tied after the end of day one. So it's not been a cakewalk. I've been fortunate to come up with a big hole or two in day two and be able to secure wins. But it's not been like I don't have to go out there and play. That's for sure.
Yeah, and our Masters divisions, I mean, it's the most improved and growing the fastest. And you guys are, adding people kind of every tournament. Like we just talked about Roy Neff. First event shows up and, he was competitive right away.
All right, so big finish question for you.
Okay.
Are there any points standings or point scenarios you see as we go into the final major of the year, the Midwest Open out of Missouri, that could shake out and shake things up at the last event?
Yeah, so it's in the men's and women's division. Those battles at the top are fierce. I won't kind of give anything away about what's right now, but in the men's division we have Austin and Sam. They're extremely close. When you see these rankings, you're going to realize how close it truly is. And it's going to be exciting to see it. Really, whoever performs better in Missouri is probably going to walk away with the top spot for the men's division. And then in the women's, it's bordering on a 3-woman race. So people go, you have Britt, you have Amy, but if you're not paying attention to the results every event, you're missing out that Carla, Lala, she's second place 6 straight events. She has been second, and I think 8 out of the past 10, she's finished second place. So, I mean, she is right there. So if she goes to Missouri and wins, and Britt and Amy, maybe have a worse day than average, finish 4th, 5th, something like that, the door would open for her to possibly jump to the number 1 spot to end the year. And then, of course, Britt and Amy are really in that head-to-head where I think whoever does better in Missouri is going to have a really good chance to take the number 1 seed in the season points as well. So very tight in those two divisions. The Masters, I think you might be safe.
Well, I hope so. John gave me the trophy in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I hate for him to take it back now.
Yeah.
No, that's exciting that it comes down to the last major event of the season. There's still point standings and championships up for grabs. I mean, that makes it better for everybody. I think it increases the interest in the event when there's really a lot on the line. And again, it makes people have to put in the work to get ready because, I mean, there's nothing decided. And like you said, in 2 of the 3 divisions, there could be a different number 1 just based on how they finish in the last event.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, in all the divisions, really, that in the men's, that 3 through 10, there's a lot of fluctuation. You're going to see some shakeups in that kind of 6 through 12 range in the men's, with these new rankings coming out. So yeah, there's a lot at stake throughout the rankings in each division. But yeah, the top in the men's and women's, whoever's number 1 is going to be decided in Missouri.
All right, man. Well, listen, thank you for your expertise. And before we let you go, I want to give you a shout out for Fling Golf Theory with Showtime. Love what you guys are doing. You and Austin are doing an amazing job. I love the topics and digging in, and even I think even the controversy is good, to be honest with you. It brings attention to the sport we all love. But speaking of that, I know you got a show coming up. Like, give us a little sneak preview here on Unleashed of what might be coming up on your show.
Yeah, so this episode, we're still finalizing a couple topics. We have a big list that we throw out different ideas and kind of pick and choose what we think is relevant for the week or for what we see on the Facebook page. So haven't fully decided kind of our main point, but definitely going to update on Austin's health status. He injured his shoulder, is back in Pennsylvania, gritted through it, played basically a whole back 9 on Sunday in pain. So he's going to tell us how he's doing, how his recovery is. We're going to get into maybe a little bit of equipment talk, a little bit of thoughts of the future. One Pro Series event, a couple regionals, but we're really in the back portion of the season. And so I think looking forward to 2027 and what's coming up in the future is definitely going to be some of our topics and kind of just more of our thoughts about, like you said, ways to improve this game and talk about this game we love. And that's our whole intent. Everything that we're doing over there, the focus, sometimes it might seem like we're critical, but it's all from a place of love and passion about the sport. So anything that we say is really driven with that in mind.
Absolutely, man. Well, listen, we love what you're doing. Thanks for spending the time with us, man, and doing this segment to kind of highlight the point standings before they come out. We look forward to seeing what you're going to do. I think it's later this week when you guys release your next episode.
Yep.
And we look forward to that, man. Appreciate you being here. We'll see you.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, so that was Tim Durr with our stat chat. And again, nobody knows more of the inside and out of the points and where people are than that guy. So that leads us perfectly into our commissioner's corner this evening, and we are going to get the commissioner in here with us. Hold on here, but the topics for tonight with the commish are going to be an update on Fling Golf equipment and kind of where he sees that going. And then the Keystone Cup wrap up, we're going to bring in our men's champion, Sam, here in a minute. And then we're going to talk about the points and rankings. And then we're going to talk about the the Tulsa Twister with French Scott. So without any further ado, Commish, welcome. Hey, so real quick, what'd you think of Tim's assessments on some of those rapid fire questions?
I thought it was spot on. Like we'll reveal them in a little bit, but no, it's funny because the one person he mentioned that I thought he had missed, he then brought up in a later question. So no, he was dead on. Like he was. We go over this stuff a little bit before we finalize them. And no, it's almost, we're completely like-minded there because I'm not sure there's anything in terms of, or at least I don't think I would have answered those questions collectively any differently than he would have.
So last time we had you on, we were able to talk about some of the hot button topics. Talked a little bit about divisions in the future. We talked a little bit of possible handicap system in the future, but we just ran out of time to talk about Fling Golf equipment, and really wanted to get your thoughts and thinking on where you see the sport going in terms of equipment. I feel like we talk all the time about events, majors and regionals and all that, but I don't feel like sometimes that we are able to spend enough time maybe talking about the equipment piece. So I want to give you the floor here this evening. I'm going to ask some maybe follow-up questions, but where do you see equipment development going in Fling Golf?
Yeah, and putting my new swarm hat on now, taking the commissioner one off briefly, we definitely look at it as, we always want to be trying to sort of move the ball forward, but certainly, and just to sort of set the stage here, we also look at it from a bunch of different perspectives. And some of those are, when we're trying to grow the sport, widespread, what is the sort of, type of equipment that's going to be most applicable to all people? And what is going to get more people playing? That being said, we also look at it on the other side of things, which is, performance. How do we keep pushing sort of performance forward? And I think it's been, I would say, the last few years, we try to do incremental improvements on certain things, but you can't sort of go in every direction at once. But it's something that we feel like there's almost like a backlog of things that we've wanted to address as an equipment company. But you always have to temper that with sort of what can you do in the short term with trying to run an e-commerce company that sells this sport, sells this stick to as many people as possible. So there's always sort of that balance involved. But I do think as the league has grown and our player base has grown, specifically our competitive player base has grown, they're really going to start pushing the envelope, and where performance becomes really critical. And I think there's things we will start doing that take that into account. and how do we really start, learning more about what's actually going to move the needle in terms of performance, and then how do we sort of incorporate that into products, and what's the sort of best way to look at that. So I think we're entering a phase where we need to start working with players, specific players on testing things out, trying new, be it, there's a lot of different ways to approach it, but trying new variations to the equipment to see if we can make, first of all, performance gains, and second of all, are they, consistent gains that everyone's going to see, or is it more going to be targeted at only a certain segment of the player? Ideally, if you can find something that's going to improve everyone's game, that's easy, and then that can be incorporated into the products. But the sort of top tier niche part of it is a little more difficult. Doesn't mean we shouldn't be advancing the ball. So I think, I think we're currently sort of exploring how do we start doing this, and it's probably going to be, trying to form, whether committees or whether getting players involved as a sort of testing group, to start sort of moving things forward. We've done a little bit in this in the past. That's how we sort of came up with the carbon flex. We've tested other sort of flexes in the shaft, but I think there's a lot more that we can do, and we can be a lot more scientific about what we've done, and look forward to doing that, because I think you can attack it on a number of different ways. I think I sort of look at it as like the three main components: the sort of grip, the shaft, and the head. The head, from a production standpoint, is the most difficult, because that requires changing a mold, and it's a lot harder to make advancements on that. We certainly have plans to do that. It's going to take a little more time on that. That leaves sort of the shaft and the grip as the easiest ways to make improvements on it. Grip, we sort of leave it open-ended, that anyone, we provide grips on all of our fling sticks, but you can always have them regripped if there's a different, grip that does something more for you. Shafts is a little difficult because we buy those. We have to manufacture those in bulk, but I think we really do want to learn about the sort of, stiffness versus flexibility, and what are ways we can actually reduce the weight of the shaft. And then it comes down to a question of like, there's only so far you can go, and at what price point, and is that price point palatable for our, players, or is it just the top players? But it's very, like, I think the way we look at that question now is very different than the way we looked at it 3 or 4 years ago. Sure. Where 4 years ago it might have been a really high-end stick, you just weren't going to have the demand for it. Whereas now I think if you can find one, if you can develop one that actually really improves performance, it's something that is worth doing, because you're going to have a market out there for it.
So John, one of the questions I get a lot, just in general, particularly around newer players, is was there a particular reason that you all settled on the 51-inch shaft length as that's kind of the ceiling of length of shaft that's allowed to be used? Like, is there did you just have to come to like a number at some point and kind of make a decision for competition, or is there something behind that maybe we just aren't aware of?
Yeah, and this even like predates me, like my entering into the company, and I don't think there was discussions I've had with Alex about this. There was some testing done, and there was some, but there wasn't, really scientific. And a lot of that, when that ballistic came out, which was, I think it was probably 2016, it might have come out. It was certainly bigger grip, longer from the original, size, topping out at 47 inches. But I think it was just a function of, okay, you're tall players, and at what point, like, versus swing plane, is it not going to hit the ground? But I don't think there was any real magic to the 51. But it was also, I think, because a lot of the comparisons, I'm guessing at the time, were to that 47-inch stick, it might have been, okay, we can add distance, but if we keep adding length to it, if we keep adding length, is the putting just going to become really awkward? It already is, odd from a the standpoint of if you're coming from golf, it just seems very different. Now, I think we've learned the way people anchor it and the techniques they use, that it becomes more a matter of practice, and it actually, you don't really get people complaining about, the length of the ballistic that are using 51 inches.
Well, John,
So I mean, long-winded way of saying that there was some sort of science put into it. There were reasons behind it, but it wasn't that, we tried it at 52 inches and it was a disaster and the performance went way downhill. It wasn't that scientific. So I will say there are certain things also about that enter into the length, like the 47, 48 inch size for the longs. That really is definitely dictated by shipping. There's a magic number on the length of the box that dramatically increases the price of shipping, which is why ballistics, if you order ballistic, why the shipping is basically 2x for a ballistic. Now that goes up, again, there's like another break point. It's not as severe as that 47, 48 inch one, but another one sort of beyond 52, I believe, and then 60 becomes a huge one as well.
So the players, we need to petition USPS and all the shipping companies as to allow for the longer shaft shipping to be reasonable.
Oh yeah, no, I mean the shipping stuff is a ongoing thing, and it changes too. Like for example, there was a time where we shipped a lot of stuff USPS because they actually didn't penalize us for going over 48 inches. So, and then all of a sudden one day they're like, we're actually going to start enforcing this, and the shipping tripled like overnight. So anyway, these are all the sort of random sort of new swarm stuff, and being an e-commerce company that we deal with.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't necessarily dictate performance, but sometimes it dictates the practicalities of what we're doing.
I got you. Well, John, thank you for sharing your thoughts on that, and hopefully from just the player's perspective, there can be some conversations had and input from the players on some of the things I think that we believe would improve the sport, not only for the top level players, but I think a lot of us are looking at, for example, myself, I'm looking at how it would impact how much better my wife could throw it.
Yeah.
If certain factors in the stick were dealt with, mainly the weight, like that's not a secret. Like
No.
if the weight could be reduced, it's going to help players who don't have the same either musculature or same type of athletic ability to actually throw the ball in a similar vicinity as other players.
I'm not sure how to do that.
I didn't mean you on the athletic part.
I think you just called me a wimp.
Remember, honey, I just took you on a very nice trip.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, and again, hopefully we can get together and have conversations about that, and help move the entire thing forward for all level players.
Yeah, no, definitely more to come on this topic, Jeff. And look for it to be something that involves players, and there'll be some formal announcements, but also other stuff going on behind the scenes, because we definitely want to try to move things forward.
All right. Well, listen, let's transition now to the Keystone Cup. We've got queued up in the green room. We've got Sam Scannell, a.k.a. Scantron, who just took the big win in Pennsylvania. So let's welcome to the show. Scantron, welcome, man. Oh, wait a minute. My bad. Hold on, Sam. Hey, welcome to the show, Sam.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
To be back.
I got you unmuted now. So, hey, Sam, while we're interviewing you, just so that the viewers know, we've got a overview video of a lot of highlight clips we took from the weekend. So you're going to see a lot of different players with short video clips of their rounds, and just wanted people to be able to kind of see what the course looked like, as well as maybe get a highlight of themselves or two while we're talking to you. But man, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you. You as well.
On a great win. On what I think was a fairly tough course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The course I thought was tricky. The greens were definitely more difficult than they appeared to be. And yeah, I liked it because the greens were very soft and the approach shots were sticking and even bouncing backwards.
Yeah.
So that just played to my game really well.
Yeah, so day one. So let's talk about day one because again, not I don't mean this to sound like a surprise, but like Zach Mulvey came out firing.
Yeah. Yeah, I played with him that first. Well, I played with him all 36 holes because he played so well that first day. Played day 2 together in the final group. But no, we started on hole 10 on Saturday. That short. It's the long par 4 that we turned into a par 5.
Yes.
So the bigger throwers could get over that water in
Yeah.
2. But he laid up, just got up and down for birdie, just nice and easy. Got a par on that tough, like uphill par 3 where you can't see the green and that sand traps on the front left there. He threw it over the sand and jumped left over the cart path into the woods. I'm like, well, all right. Now we both birdied the first hole. All right, now I like me versus Zach. Let's just try to stay with Zach all day. And we found his ball. He's backed into the woods. He's chipping out of the woods. Just great chip, par. And then goes on to birdie the next 2 holes. He's 3 under through 4. It's all right. Here we go.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
So what do you think that was a turning point for you on day one, or do you feel like the turning point for you was on day 2?
It was definitely day 2 where I was able to figure it out. Day 1 was tricky and tough for me. I said I birdied the first hole there, but then for whatever reason I like to bogey the very hole next, the very next hole after I get my birdie. So I bogeyed that par 3. So just birdie bogey to start the day, and then some of those par 5s were shorter. Right,
Yeah.
we could reach in 2. So I ended up eagling that hole 16 with a long, like 25, 30-foot putt.
Yes,
And-
over the water approach shot.
Right. Yep. Yeah, you kind of hard dog leg to the right, and if you can get the corner, you can have a decent reachable approach shot. And Austin said that because I yelled so loud, I scared him when he was on that par 3 behind me, or behind the hole. He's like, "Oh, that was my only bogey of the day because you yelled." So
Oh.
maybe I should have been yelling more. But then, of course, I bogeyed the next 3 out of the next 4 holes after that eagle. So
Oh.
and I threw the ball out of bounds on the 17th tee because I was so just not focused after my eagle. Let me throw this really hard.
So you
Throw
were
it out of
hyped up.
bounds. Yeah, oh yeah. So it's you learn something every tournament. You can't get too up after the big moments, and you can't get too down after the tough moments.
All right, man. So in your opinion, if you were going to rank that course in comparison to other courses we play, what kind of how would you rank it, or what would you compare it to?
The greens were very similar to Carr Lake, but just not as quick. Like they kind of acted the same. Like you would think it would break more than it did. Like place and break, it didn't move. You play it straight, and then it moved. So
Yeah.
it was just
Or the
hard-
opposite- or the
Right,
opposite way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, there was some putts out there, and I think you had some putts also, even in the mixed doubles day, like where I thought the ball had to go is not where
Right,
it went.
just didn't. Yep.
Yeah, so big
No,
win.
Yeah, no, thank you. I personally, the way my game played, I thought this course was pretty straightforward. But no, the elevation changes, and it did remind me of Spring Valley to replace the PA event to PA event, so it was
I
a
got you.
good
I got you.
replacement. Yeah.
So day 2, obviously you were in the group. Austin kind of had an injury. What
That was.
what was it like?
unfortunate.
What was it kind of like dealing with, not dealing with him, but I mean, knowing that situation was going on? Like, how did you handle your game? And also, I know that you're, obviously we're all friends out there, so
Right.
wanting him to be okay as well.
Yeah, well, I had heard that he tweaked it at the end of the first day, and it didn't show the first half of the round. If he was hurting, he was hiding it in because that's
I got you.
the competitor he was.
Yeah.
But then when we got to the turn, he bogeyed 9 and 10. His approach on that par 5, he said that's when his arm went out and he threw it in the water. So that was kind of as we used to say during Apex, there was blood in the water.
Oh.
And I went birdie eagle and he went bogey bogey. So
Oh.
it was 5 shots in those 2 holes, and that's kind of
Just
when
like
it was
like that. It was that quick.
right.
Wow.
So then after that, it was just kind of all right. Don't make mistakes. He kept struggling, kept getting hurt. We were like, man, you're able to do this, but no one will go against you if you wanted to withdraw. But
I got you. Yeah.
he
There's no way he was withdrawing.
no, not a chance. No, not with Austin's competitiveness and just the grit he had to tough it out was good. He was doing that like Tiger Woods where he'd tee off, then drop down on one knee.
Oh,
It
I
was
got
like
you.
it was like that type of round. It was
Wow.
yeah, it was tough.
So listen, being a multi-time champion, being at the top, being world number one previously. So how do you, when you get into the lead like that, like for folks out here that maybe are on the edge and soon are going to be in a situation, even in a regional, where they might be leading going into day 2 or the second half of day 2, like how do you manage your game differently, if at all?
Yeah. For early on, I was kind of like, all right, try to block everything out. Don't look at leaderboards, like focus shot by shot. But I think now that I go forwards, I like to know where I stand more. It keeps the unknown not unknown, and I don't have to worry about, oh, I messed up. Did he do really well on the other hole? Like, you still want to play your game, but you want to be comfortable if you
Yeah.
mess up.
Yeah.
So I think that was something I recently learned.
What?
And then also just personally, don't get in your own head and spiral.
Yeah.
Just that type of thing.
Do you ever get in a conservative mode, or do you keep your foot on the gas?
I try to keep my foot on the gas. It's like watching a hockey team that gets the lead and then they change how they play and then they
I got you.
just give it up. So I
Yeah.
try to just keep playing, be aggressive. But like that last hole, when I'm up by 2 with 1 hole to go, that's when you try to be a little safe.
Right, be
Yeah,
smart.
Right.
All right, Commish, you got any questions or anything for the PA champion?
No, I mean I was out there for that back 9 for a lot of those holes, and yeah, no, it was Austin was struggling, and it was one of the grittiest second place performances I've seen. But I do think it's interesting that your answer, Sam, on how you sort of manage and how you play. You don't want to take your foot off the gas, but at the
Right.
same time, do you play? You're always going to probably play a little bit differently when you're in the lead versus playing catch up. And I think without, maybe a question I would have, without Reggie's, do you view it differently because you don't really have necessarily as many opportunities to catch up and have those sort of 2-stroke swings
True,
that
yeah.
you control?
Yeah, no, I didn't think of
So
that.
year to
Yeah.
year, like how would you say, do you approach coming from behind or having a lead differently than you might have last year?
Yeah, you can't make it up in one as fast as you could with
Right.
the Reggies. Yeah, so it's kind of like a war of attrition. Like he gets a birdie, make sure you par it. If you get a par, like right, don't get too behind too quickly, and just limit stop the bleeding if if stuff happens, because you can't fall away too fast anymore.
The other thing I think in terms of like leaderboard watching, which you
Yeah.
can't get too wrapped up in it, but I am a big believer, and it's easy because I'm not out there competing with you guys, but a big believer in that you should know where you stand.
Yeah, and
Because-
I definitely started paying attention to that more often.
Especially on day one, I get it. Maybe it is best to just, it doesn't really matter.
Right, day
But-
2 for sure. Yeah.
But day 2, because there are going to be those opportunities, whether they're on the front 9, more likely on the back 9, where there may be I have to go for the pin. The pin's in a bad position, or maybe there's water involved.
And with usually being sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, and that if you're protecting a lead, you have to view it a lot differently than you do if you're trying to make up strokes, and you have to have birdies.
Right.
And if
Being
you
in the
don't know
final
where you're-
group, you can see where you're at too.
Right, exactly.
If you're not in the final group, you want to know, oh, is someone slipping up in the final group, or did I already catch up? Like, yeah, you want to know.
Exactly.
Cool.
All right, Sam. Well, listen, man, congrats.
Thank you.
We are going to bring you back for a unique segment towards the end there. I know you had a unique opportunity this weekend, and we're anxious to hear about how different that was from what's normal. But up next, we've got actually here with us now, we've got the women's champion, Britt Hammond. So we're going to bring her on now. First of all, Britt, congratulations for making it to the show tonight. I know that you just got done.
Sonny wants to be here too.
Oh, good.
Sonny.
Excellent. So huge win for you in Pennsylvania, and I know you're happy about the win. But I want to talk to you about day one because of how close you were to shooting the first ever under par round in the women's division, and instead you still a great accomplishment, the second par round, and both par rounds have been shot this year during this season in back-to-back events. So tell us about your amazing day one.
Quick shout out to Amy Lewis because she shot the first par round ever. But to get into the Keystone Cup, I day one I had no idea what I shot. I was pretty much I knew I was playing well, but I did not want to look. I do not believe in looking, John. I don't like to know.
Even on day
So
two?
day two, I only started looking. I think I only looked for the last hole.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I only looked going into the very last one. Um, but yeah, day one, the only thing that haunts me a little bit is hole 11 because I had also set a goal for myself that I did not want to double bogey at all in the weekend. And that was the only hole I double bogeyed, and it was because of those stupid bees. Like
Well,
that threw me off
I
so
that,
bad.
like it totally threw her off.
Oh
They
my
were bad.
God, that was
They
ridiculous.
were,
But
I don't think
the
people
murder
understand.
hornet hole.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand when you say bees. I'm talking like bees.
They were
Like
Like they were
massive.
huge.
Yeah.
enormous.
Yeah.
Massive bees. Yeah. So I had thrown my approach shot into the area that they were kind of like swarming or coming out of the ground at. Um, and of course, nobody else's ball landed there in my group. Everybody else was like safe to the right or on the green. Um, so when I had landed, I saw stuff moving up there, but I just thought it was nothing. When we got up to it, it was all these bees swarming all over my ball. And I believe,
Play it
one
as it
of the first
lies.
groups to encounter them. Um, and yeah, you
She
can
took
now call me the queen bee if you
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
after all that. Um, but my nerves were shot after that whole situation, and like I just three putted, even though I had a decent sidecar to get out of the bees. I just could not putt after that. So I would have been like two under if
Wow.
I parred that, which is haunting me, but that's okay.
Active nature got you.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely.
All right, so you have a great round on Saturday. Almost, again, tie Amy Lewis for the even par round in the women's division. Come out day two. How did things change for you day two? Did you feel like the course was different? Obviously, the pins were a little bit different. Like, what did you think was the difference for you day one and day two, in terms of play?
Honestly, day one was great. Day two started off awesome for me. Like um, I actually thought on hole seven, you can look at the scorecard and see what happened after that. But I thought to myself on hole seven, like, wow, you're actually going to maybe get close. Like, you could probably go under and be the first one to go under for the total weekend.
Oh my!
And because we were waiting a lot, um, we were basically, it was wherever, like, Jeff, your group was on the green, then the men were on the fairway, and we were on the tee. And once we kind of hit that, um, I started to not do as well. Um, and then my minus went quickly to a plus. But yeah, hole seven, I think, was the last hole that I maybe parred. And then I think I bogeyed eight, and then bogeyed nine, and then bogeyed 10. Yeah, I went on quite a bogey train there for a little bit. But the greens were tough. I thought they were
Yeah.
playing harder on Sunday
Yes.
Mhm.
than Saturday. I like the pin placements on Saturday a lot better.
Yeah.
Agreed.
than Sunday. But I knew they were going to be tough. So, and I
Championship
knew
Sunday. It's got to be
Lala
harder.
and Amy and Chris and all the ladies were going to bring it on Sunday as well. So,
So same. I'm going to ask you the same question we asked Sam, because I think a lot of people that are in that tier of like 5 to 10 in terms of their ranking or they're in the points where, if they put together a good day, they can all of a sudden find themselves in a situation where they might be leading or close to leading, like mentally. And how do you approach your game when you get into the lead, maybe have a couple shot lead? Like, do you change anything, or what advice would you give people that if they ever find themselves in that fortunate position in terms of bringing it home and securing the win?
honestly, I'm going to tell you not to look at the scoreboard. That's what helps me. I like to just kind of assume that we're all even at the beginning of the day, no matter what. Like, I think I had a 1 shot lead over Lala. And to me, that's 0-0 because one stroke can
Oh,
happen anytime. Um, and even, Amy, I think, was 5 back from me. Again, fling off, anything can happen. You can have a water ball, then bogey. You can then have a murder hornet nest, be a whole thing. So, yeah, I would say don't look at the scoreboard, just play your game. Try to just, keep trying to do better than you did the hole before. So either staying par or trying to get birdies. And I know Sam had touched on this, but I think personally for me, a lot of my success has come because I don't let myself get too high and I don't let myself get too low. So you got to like keep that nice even
yeah.
um, temperature throughout the whole round. Even if you have a bad shot or even if you have an amazing shot, you got to try
Yeah,
to
you're very good
keep
at
it
it.
even.
You're very good at
So,
keeping calm.
so,
Oh, thank
hey,
you.
so like, I'm not trying to set you up or anything, but just I'm interested. Like, did you coming into PA? Did you feel like you kind of had you felt like did you feel like you had to win?
Yes. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Okay,
I really wanted I just wanted to redo basically from Delaware because I did so poorly there, in my opinion. Um, that I wanted a little redemption going into the Britain's Cup. So yeah, I really I mean I'm a PA girl. That's where I'm from. So I like to do well at home. I grew up like an hour outside of where this tournament was.
I
So
got you.
yes.
All right. Well, Britt, thank you so much for sharing your championship weekend experience with us. I'm going to ask you to hang around because I am going to bring you back on here in just a few minutes to talk about the club series. But again, thank you for being here and congratulations on a big win.
Yeah, and
Yeah, thank you guys.
playing with you on
Congrats.
Saturday a lot. So,
I don't think she heard you.
I said I very much appreciated playing with you on Saturday. So, is
Oh,
my mic?
great. It was so
Oh
fun.
yeah, it was a great group. Like I was like, I wish we could just always have this group.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I will tell you though, I feel like because I played my best game on Saturday, and I feel like because you and Sherry and Lala were in my I felt like just the vibe we had going was part of the reason I played so well is because we were all just like chill but like still playing, and it kind
Yeah,
of helps my
exactly.
game. So I appreciate that.
Oh, it was super fun. Hopefully we get to
All
do
right,
it again soon.
all right, John.
Absolutely.
From now on, my wife has to play with Britt. All right, Britt. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you again here in a few minutes. All right, guys. Up next, we're going to talk to our spotlight player for tonight, and that is the Masters. It's a conundrum, kind of Masters rookie. Is a play on words, but he only started playing 90 days ago. Um, and let me get him here. Yeah, but yeah. So he was the low amateur at the Keystone Cup, and like I said, 90 days playing, and he's already making waves. It's the caveman Jim Cagle, and again he played great. So we're going to welcome him to the show here. So, Jim, thanks for being with us. Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. So Jim, 90 days as a fling golfer, and you're already making waves. How did you pull that off?
Honestly, I don't know. Um, I just picked the thing up a couple months ago, and I've played by myself, and everybody that's come around me, I've just tried to infect them with it. And I just wanted to go to see, kind of gauge how I was doing, and I feel like I did pretty good, all in all.
Oh, you did great. So tell us about your first tournament experience.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say thanks to everybody. Everybody I met made it a, a great experience. I mean, the community is just incredible. Everybody's so encouraging, and I just can't see giving this thing up anytime soon.
So you're hooked. So you sounds like you're hooked.
I'm hooked, and everyone around me is hooked, or they avoid me at this point because they're going to hear about fling golf.
Well, so in your round, what do you feel like you learned from playing in like an official tournament rounds that now you're going to take with you to future events?
Well, first of all, Saturday, the guys I played with, these were some, these were a tough, great group of guys. They're very encouraging, but they made me play better because they were so good. And my score may not reflect it, but I feel like I shot way better on Saturday if I could just take away that hole number 11. And John saw my meltdown on that one. It was horrendous.
It happens.
And there, buddy.
I took a 5 over par on that hole, and
Oh,
if I had to do all over again, uh, it'd be way different.
wow. Yeah, that's a big number on a par three.
Yeah, I took 2 drops. Yes, it was horrendous. It was a real rookie mistake, let's say.
Was it the Murder Hornets?
It was.
No, it was the out of bounds and the cart path and the trees, and I think that one second ball is probably still rolling down the hill.
A couple
Well,
inches though, and it would have been on the green. It was definitely.
Yes, I went for the hero shot, and that was
Yeah.
that was a rookie mistake. To be honest with you.
all right. So if you had to describe the strongest and weakest part of your game right now, what would you tell us? What would you tell us?
The weakest part I would say is the distance, which I'm working on that.
Okay.
I told Jeff that the other day when I saw him. Um, I should get my new stick tomorrow. I'm moving up to a Sabre. We'll see how that goes.
There we
Feel
go.
like I should be able to get a few extra yards.
Shout out to Scantron.
And honestly, since the Keystone Cup, I believe I've gotten about 10 yards longer. I feel like I've gotten better since then. To be honest with you,
Absolutely.
I just keep flinging, man. That's what I'm gonna do.
All right. So what's up next for the top ranked amateur player from the Keystone Cup? What do you got on the horizon?
All righty, I'm going to Tulsa Saturday to play in the Tulsa Twister
Oh, he's
that
hooked.
French Scott's putting on. Sunday, I'm going to go play around in the Osho with Titus and Obadiah Harder, who I'd like to shout out to them. For 2.5 months, I played this game by myself and with no one who had ever played fling golf before. I met Titus on July 1st and Obadiah the next week, and they were kind of the driving factor in me coming up to Pennsylvania and just throwing my hat in the ring. And I feel like they're really taking me under their wing, and I appreciate them.
All right. So are you? Will we be seeing you also in Missouri?
Absolutely. I'm going to be up there Sunday to play around on that course, and I'm only about 80 miles away from there, so I'll probably be playing it a lot between
All right.
now and October.
But Jim, hey, thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us, telling us about your first event, and congratulations. Listen, my wife started out as top amateur. I started out as top amateur in Florida last year. So that is a great spot to start in terms of moving quickly up through the rankings and being successful in fling golf.
Well, I appreciate it. I feel like I'm on the right track, and I'm going to see you guys down the road. Believe that. I'll definitely see you in October.
All right, man. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate you.
All right, that's a perfect transition, Kamish, into bringing French Scott on, because since Jim was talking about going to the Tulsa Twister, Commission will give you just the first shot here. Tell us a little bit about this event coming up, and then we'll get some details from French.
Yeah, so another in our regional series. This will be the first tournament that we've actually had in Oklahoma. So very excited about that. But it also is, and it also highlights sort of the number of, additional tournaments we've had in the Midwest and Southwest this year, which is fantastic. And it also is a good, as Jim alluded to, a good, sort of the opportunity for a sort of tune-up before Missouri, because there's even going to be a practice round, which French will go into details on that, organized practice round on Sunday at that actual course, which I think is should be a great preview for some people, and hopefully it gets more people to the Tulsa Twister event. But we're really excited to have a tournament out in Oklahoma.
All right, so French, we're gonna put you on the hot seat here. Give us the details and what all you've got planned for the Tulsa Twister.
Oh, thank you very much for
Shirt's
having
awesome.
me on. Yeah, you like the shirt? Everybody who plays is going to get one of these shirts, so you can expect that and expect it to be hot. We've had a string of triple-digit highs this week, but it's going to be cool down to the low 90s on Saturday. So good weather, but on the little warmer side. No, the course is, I like to say, it's equal parts of fun, beautiful, and challenging. Just given the scenery, the wildlife, the elevation in the canyons, and it's also very challenging. And when you throw off of a very tall cliff to a green you can barely see down below, it can be really fun as well. So excited about having it. The storyline for this event, I'm really excited to say that it's the women. We have we have seven ladies playing. That's more than any other regional event, including North Carolina, that are playing in this. And for the first time ever, we're going to have a division called the Lady Legends, the 50-plus division, and excited about that. I think we have as many ladies that are in the Legends division as we do Masters in this tournament. And the Masters team, Jim included, is very well stacked. I'm excited about the fact that we've got participants certainly from around Oklahoma. That was my original driver for hosting this tournament, is to give the growing community in this area an opportunity to see what a tournament is like before going to Neosho for the Midwest Shootout. And at the same time, we came up with the idea of doing that practice round in order to bring in some people from kind of the outside areas. And I'm happy to say that not only do we have people from Oklahoma that are playing, but from Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Colorado, and yes, even Virginia, with Leslie and the Marchands are making a road trip here for that. Now, I am a little sad. None of my good friends from Texas, there were different reasons why they couldn't come. I know many wanted to be here, but I do think we're going to have a club series down the road and restart that Red River rivalry. And since they're not able to make it to Tulsa on this event, I think the first event's going to have to be on Tulsa home turf between the Texans and the Oklahomans down the road.
Nice.
We also have a lot of newcomers to this event, first-time players, and I wanted to tell this story. One of our community members that plays golf has a good friend that, one of our fling golf members has a good friend that plays golf, and they were at a casino this last weekend, and my friend was asking them to come play in the tournament, and they struck a deal that if that person won $100 or more that night, which was our entry fee for our 1 day tournament, that they would come. And just before they finished that night, that person won $200. And my friend said, "I guess you're playing this Saturday." And they've signed up. And as soon as this podcast is over, I'm going to go out to the golf course, meet them, and give them an impromptu clinic on how to play fling golf. So
Wow.
excited that we've got newcomers that fresh off the off the invite for this tournament. So very excited about this.
Well, French, thank you for everything you've put into this and got this regional event off the ground. I know Moose is making the trip, right?
Yeah, he and Sherry, and
Yeah.
I think Leslie are. I know I am devastated that we're not going.
There's only so many weekends.
I know, but man,
I'm going to have to get a third job just for the fling golf travel. I can do it. That's what she said. I can do it. But French, no, this sounds like it's going to be an awesome event. Do you see this as something as like this is a one event this year? Or do you feel like what you've experienced so far, you would probably like to have this as a regional event again in the future?
Oh, absolutely. When I first talked with John about this earlier this year, I came up with the name Tulsa Twister because I wanted to be a little twist on whatever we're doing to try something out. This year being kind of the Lady Legends division.
That's awesome.
But I saw this as the inaugural event of many tournaments to come, and I certainly, from what I've seen from the Tulsa community here, I think that's very doable.
Well, listen, I do definitely, since this is a first with the Lady Legends division after your event on our next show in a couple weeks, definitely want to get a couple of the ladies from the Legends division and give them an opportunity to tell us about the experience of playing in that unique opportunity.
Will do.
Oh, look, Obi's taunting me.
yes, Obi.
You still have plenty of time. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the registration hasn't closed. I'll close it tomorrow. So anyone from Texas and Jeff, you're welcome to come too. So
How long
there's
of a
still
drive?
time.
How long of a drive is it?
Lord, it would be a
And
hike.
all right, no.
We'd have to leave
Next year,
we'd
French.
have-
Next year,
We'd have to leave like tomorrow.
pencil us in for next year.
Will do.
All right, hey, listen, thank you and good luck with your event this weekend. I
Thank you.
appreciate everything you're doing for Fling Golf, and also you're a heck of a player as well. You were right there in Pennsylvania making some noise.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we'll talk to you later, French. And up next is a very unique and also a first of. We've got the folks who participated. Obi says it's a 4-hour flight. That means it's like a 24-hour drive. So we've got the folks who participated in the very first U.S. Open speed golf event, but they included fling golfers. So we are we're going to talk to the man himself, who I believe put this all together. And of no shock to anyone here, it's the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, Jonathan Bellingham, a.k.a. Aquajon, who seems to have his hand in just about everything, all things fling golf.
Yeah.
So,
Look at that
Aquajon,
shirt.
look at that shirt. He's representing. All right, Aquajon. So, for those of us who know nothing about what went on, give us a quick backstory on how this all came about.
Well, the fun backstory is, like a lot of things, it started with a lark. It was last summer when Sam was working here at Capon, and he's always looking for fun content, and we just seen this world record in speed golf. He said, hey, let's try it. So I went first and tried it, and he went next, and we filmed each other, and of course he's great at editing content and put it together side by side to see how we did. And I thought that was the end of it. Fun little thing we did. We'd never hear from it again. And then next thing you know, about 6 weeks ago, Alex puts out there in the group, hey, anyone want to join speed golf? And we're like, really? Is this going to happen? So I knew Sam and I would be in, and that was a no-brainer. And next thing, if we're going to get someone on the ground, can Jake and Rosie make it happen? And they jumped in, and then surprise, surprise, Hooters raised his hand, and we're like, what? Really? Okay. And we said, we got to get Leslie. She's our road runner. So she was in. We thought, okay, we got a core group. And then we got a few surprises. People out of the blue who, kind of new to the sport. Dano from Chicago area, he was all in. He's got us our own shirts designed with a Hurley on the front and our names on the back. So we had team uniforms, which was great.
Wow.
And then at the very last minute, Jake said, "I think I got a guy out of New Mexico who can come, but he's a beast. He's running around. He's a flinger. We didn't know much about him, and so we said, okay, why not? Let's add to the mix." So we show up not really knowing how this thing's going to work, other than, I mean, the basics of the sport are it's your score and your time. So most of these guys we found out are golfers who also run. So they knew how to manage a course. They knew how to do it. They just were in great shape. In fact, the version of the sport itself we learned at the banquet the first night, which was amazing because they live in a parallel universe to fling golf. They love getting out there. They have a great community. You know, they said these are our long lost cousins. You know, come join the party, and that's what we learned that their parallel is more in the pickleball world than ours, because they started in 1979 with a world class, the top American miler said, "I want to play golf as well." So it had a slow burn for 30 years until about the same time, 2018 or so. They got serious about it. They had competitions. They developed a presence in the U.S. They went international. And so these parallel universes kind of came together, and they welcomed us with open arms. So that was the greeting that we got when we first got there on Friday. With none of us, some of us had a little bit of practice. Some had done 9 holes speed golf. Some of us had done 18. But there was only one guy who came, and on Friday said, "I'm not just doing one time around the course. I'm doing it twice." And that was Morgan. So, gosh, this guy is serious. Well, we were resting on Friday. We don't want to go there. The third element in the room was the heat. We knew it was going to be hot. We trained in the heat, but oh my gosh, the professionals went out at 7 in the morning when it starts, because usually they're doing this all before traditional golf gets to play, because they go off one at a time. So if you can picture a road race with elite athletes go first, the number 1 player in the world goes first. 4 minutes later, number 2, 3, and so forth. They all got their turn to go, and then they gave a 20-minute break and said, "All right, flingers, do your thing." So we're starting at 10 o'clock. Sam goes off. You know, I go off, 4 or 5 minutes later, and then we had to guess up our lineup, who was first to last and how it went. And you can pass somebody, if you catch up to them. So this is where that balance of, I knew I would have the running part, but I wouldn't have the scoring part. So yeah, I could
Right,
pass
so we
him.
thought I was first.
Yeah, so I could catch him, but I knew the score was the other factor. And that's how the weekend kind of played out. We learned that first day in the heat. You got to slow down.
And then Morgan says, "I don't think so."
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's a different animal. He proved that if you have both, it doesn't matter. You can go hard and you can score, and that's how we won. So at the end of 2 days, there was no catch. We knew after the first day there was no catching Morgan. He was just the man of the hour, and he did everything right. And
let's listen. Speaking of Morgan, let's bring him on real quick, because correct, he was the top fling golf finisher, correct?
Yeah, not only was he the top fling golf finisher, but I calculated the scores based on, this was the U.S. Championships, and there were people from all over the world. But if you just counted the top 10 American finishers, and you took their time and their score, he would have finished 5th overall. And Sam
wow!
So they win 5 and 6 against the best in the U.S., which is pretty awesome.
Wow! Congratulations! All right, well, first of all, we're meeting Morgan for the first time.
We are, yeah.
So first of all, Morgan, thank you for making a way to be on the podcast tonight. It's great to meet you. We have both heard about you out west as this phenom that we got to meet and got to play fling golf with. And now I will say, I'm not going to run with you, but I definitely will be happy to play fling golf with you.
I hear he's got an advantage in the running.
Yeah. So
runner.
yeah, I heard you you're a coach.
Well, I coach a few sports. So I'm coaching soccer right now. Coach my son's golf team. I coach basketball. I've coached volleyball. I've coached several sports.
But you're also a cross-country runner, is that correct?
Well, I'm not coaching it right now because of soccer, but once my son's done with his soccer career next year, I'll go back to coaching cross country.
You didn't tell us that.
Yeah, I think
I gotta save a few secrets from you.
Morgan was holding his cards real close to the vest.
Wow, I'm telling you, wow.
Well, and Jeff, I'll drop the other shoe, Jeff, because just like in the movie Princess Bride, when they have the sword fight,
Well,
and there's something you do not know is that not only is he's not left-handed, but he's not an open male. He's a masters.
Oh,
He played from the men's tees and still did that.
Oh,
wow.
So masters, look out.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. So Morgan, so I'm interested in obviously the speed golf event, but I'm interested to hear first. How did you get into fling golf?
well, I've got a huge shout out to Johnny Sands and the Z crew. Those guys are just awesome. I love those guys to death. Johnny Sands, I just played with him a few holes. I think 9 holes a couple hours ago. Just kind of recovering from the flight and the trip and good times that we had together with Scantron and of course Aqua John and everybody else, Hooter and Rosie and Jake. There's such a beautiful group of people. I wish I had more time to spend with those guys.
So did you anticipate that you would do as well as you did, or did you not know what to expect?
Absolutely not. I didn't know what to expect from anything. I actually showed up. Well, I registered on Wednesday. Scott was so nice. Scott, the speed guy, was so nice to plug me in last minute. I said, I think I have some time because my son's going on vacation with his mom. So I have a little break from soccer. We're getting our soccer season together here within the next couple of weeks. Our first game, August 15th. So I can't make it to Hooters Open, so that's a bummer. But I had this timely window to get to Temecula and meet some of these great people. That was my only expectation. Is that I want John talked so highly of these guys and Rosie and Leslie and they did not disappoint. It was the time of my life, and I hope to do it again very, very soon.
Yeah. So are you now a fling golfer, or are you going to be a speed golfer, or are you going to be both?
Well, I want to compete with these guys in regular fling, and I'm going to try and convince them to train a little more because after day one, we were all laid out. Some of us with IVs and others with ice on knees and heads and dipping our heads into ice buckets. And
on the fairway.
like, what is going on here? It's like a mass unit here. And me being an Army guy, I'm like, man, this is some triage going on here. But man, these guys are athletes. I'm telling you, to be able to just jump off the plane and jump on the course and run 4.75, I think it was, and do it again the next day, amazing. And I'm just so grateful to be part of that group that competed in the first
There you go.
U.S. Open.
Look at that.
Actually, I wish I had one for all of these guys because they all deserved it. I should have just left it there. But it was a proud moment to be part of, the first and hopefully of many.
So Jake Anderson says, watching everybody compete on Sunday was the most inspiring thing I've seen in sports. Everybody was amazing.
Yeah, that was true. I mean, to a person, we concluded even after the punishment we put ourselves through, because it was, as a distance runner my whole life, that was one of the hardest workouts that I've ever had to do. It was a lot tougher than I thought, but because we did it together as a team, we all agreed. They said, "Hey, you guys, you've done this." The speed golfers like, "Are you going to come back?" Well, next year they're going to have it in October, and we all agreed, "Oh, we're 100% coming back." In fact, we want to crossbreed over now from speed golf to fling golf. We want to see a speed golf event at every WLF or regional event as a morning event, just 9 holes. Anyone could do this. It really is. We say you have to be an athlete, but we joked and we teased Hooter a great deal. Like, Hooter's going to run? He's a big man. He did great. Dano's going to be all right. Even Rosie and Jake, I mean, everyone proved that it's not sprinting hard, it's pacing yourself and just moving forward. and it really was so much fun. Even though it was physically challenging, that we were all hooked. We're
Yeah,
going to be doing.
I learned a lot from day one.
All
of
right.
it.
So real quick, let's put the commission on the spot. I mean, I heard Aquajohn say something about adding this to WLF events. Is that on the horizon, commish?
I mean, it could. I do think it's one of those things where, like, the good news is if we're at a course where we're, starting at, if we can put our tee times back, they start the first thing in the morning. So I don't think you can do necessarily a massive field doing that. And maybe you do it on, say, Friday before.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'd love to work it in. I think it'd be phenomenal. And even if it starts out as just a a showcase of people that have done it before or those interested in it. So I can't guarantee we'll have it in Missouri, but I don't know, we might. Like it's potentially on the table to have. I think the real question though for some of these people, would you, and Morgan, and this isn't to Morgan because Morgan could just I think keep going easily do speed golf and then 18
still running.
Yeah, exactly, no problem. But would you do it if it was right before, say, round one of a 36-hole Pro Series tournament?
Not on a Saturday morning, but like a Friday morning to then have
right. Like I think it might make more sense on a sort of a doubles or a practice round day.
Right.
And I think that would be.
So my comment is to Aquajohn. So Aquajohn, if next year at the West Virginia Doubles Championship you have this on the par 3 course, I will participate.
Don't you think I haven't thought of that? I'm already there. I'm already there. I'm all over that already.
All right.
So everybody knows after we completed that Saturday and Sunday, which was was tough on our bodies. It didn't take us a couple hours later to recover after we kind of passed out for a little bit. We were over at the Well playing 18 again on Sunday afternoon after we did that weekend. So
holy moly,
it can be done. It can be done.
So, John, question for you: what was it like playing? Because I think you were the only one that actually played the doubles. What was it like playing with Scott, the speed golf commissioner in the doubles?
So full confessions here: we didn't actually decide to play. He was on injured reserve. I know he was on injured reserve, and Saturday was the hardest day at 95-degree heat. It was one of the things that they probably should have canceled that event, or at least not had us go out that late, because that was going to be at 12 o'clock. I mean, close to 12 o'clock when it was each 15 minutes it was going up a couple of degrees. Yeah. So we didn't get to play together, unfortunately. That would have been my dream, the two of us actually getting to play, but it didn't happen. So that gave us more motivation to do more things in the future together.
Yeah.
All right. So Scantron, you went out, and I of no surprise to any of us, you were probably everybody's favorite going to this event in terms of amongst the fling golfers. So obviously Morgan said, "Wait a minute, hold my beer, watch this." But however, you came in a very strong second. So what was the experience like for you?
I definitely learned that I needed to train more. And just I didn't practice a full 18. I had only run 9 holes at a time. So that first day I started way too fast. And I was 1 under through 7 holes in maybe 15 minutes. And I heard Rosie yelling at me, "Go Sam, go!" And I got more excited. And then just something hit me in the middle of the 8th fairway and I just lost it all. Everything. It was tough. So the way the scoring goes, you have a cart follow you the whole time and you yell your scores to them and they can carry your water for you. So I'm just like, water. Help. And then I bogeyed 8, bogeyed 9, bogeyed, and so I was 1 under through 7 and then 8 over through the next 11.
Oh.
Yeah. And then Aquajohn caught and passed me on hole 11. And I wanted to be in the 70s and under an hour the first day, just kind of not knowing where to go or how to judge it. And I shot a 79.
Wow.
I missed a 3-inch putt on hole 18.
Oh,
because I was so tired, and it's so close. I used the opposite side of the putt pad
Oh no.
because it's like, just go, and I missed it, and it's like, no.
Oh,
And I did it in an hour and 18 seconds.
wow.
So
That's
I was
impressive.
all that walking and throwing up cost me my under an hour. But I knew how to not do that the second day, and I was able to go under an hour on day 2. So
Well, congratulations. And then here, Jake Anderson says Morgan shot +6 in 49 minutes.
yeah, he beat me by 10 minutes.
Holy
And
cow.
yeah, it was
It's
incredible.
Scantron. He's old.
Well,
I am old. I'm 57, and I should have probably ran with Aqua John, and we'd had a great time. But I said I'm going to give it one try at least to play on the whites and trying to
killed it.
compete with these young studs, and it was an experience of a lifetime. I appreciate you, Scantron, and Aqua John, of course. You were awesome, and I have to give a great shout out to our hosts, Rosie and
Yeah.
Island Hopper. They were
Always.
so good to us. We had such a great time.
Spirit of
It
speed
was,
thing, too.
Fantastic people. Yep.
yeah.
Well, listen, Morgan, I know we don't know each other yet, but my wife can attest to this. No one appreciates you putting it on the young men as much as I do.
Well, I've heard a lot about you, Harvey, and I'd like to meet you at a speed fling golf tournament somewhere, and I'll take you on. Let's do this.
Stand a chance.
okay. He says that, but
So he beat me by 3 minutes / strokes in the entire thing, but there was actually a scorecard error, and he was actually 5 shots better than it said. So there was even like if I had somehow caught him on day 2, we would have gone to the score sheet and corrected it. So
Wow.
he even did better than his score showed. So it was very impressive. He was
Well,
too
listen,
humble to go fix it.
Morgan, you have made quite
Thank
you've
you.
made quite the splash in your first introduction to the fling golf community, and also here at WLF Unleashed, the podcast. We look forward to. Are we going to see you in Missouri for that event?
I'd love to go out. We have a game on Thursday and a game on Tuesday. So I think I could squeeze in that weekend and have one of our coaches or two of our coaches take over that weekend for practice and preparation for our Tuesday game. But I'd love to be in Missouri. I'd love to be in Waco, but I can't miss my son's
Absolutely.
first game of his senior season,
oh no.
and I'm the coach. I just can't do that.
Be careful. He's good when he last second shows up to things.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But after the game, I might run down to Waco on a red and maybe get there. But I love the community. These guys, I mean, besides playing golf, these guys are amazing people. I mean, once again, Uncle John, love you guys, Scantron. It was Dano. I don't think we give
Dan was
praise enough to Dano.
Yep.
Yeah, he was
Sure.
third overall. So
Yeah.
that
Could've
guy
hit
was
36
just.
holes that hot.
He was ready to do it again. He was jumping up and down, and
Yeah, the before and after video, he looked more energized after than he did before.
right. Yes,
Congratulations.
just great people.
Congratulations again. And we're actually going to give the last word to the grandfather of fling golf, Aqua John himself. How do you want to wrap up the speed fling segment?
This is a relationship that's just going to go nowhere but up because we met some of the international runners, especially the UK guys. And when I told them about the Britain's Cup coming up a week before the British Speed Golf Championships, they were very excited about it. And they were very curious about asking questions about fling golf and speed fling golf. And it was neat to see them at the top of their sport really kind of vibing on fling golf and where we're going, and we're all kind of in the same boat of trying to grow these individual sports. And so, and Scott Dawley, he somehow is Alex and John rolled into one. Great administration, great vision, really knows how to build a community, and he's all in on fling golf and very supportive of things going. So this is going to go nowhere but up in these communities, and we just encourage everyone who even would think about trying it because this is another great set of family. We got a new family that we all want to meet and be part of. And so anytime someone wants to do that, talk to any one of us. We'll make sure you put October 2027. We'll
It's
be at
not a-
JP again. We'll be there.
It's not a sprint; it's a light jog.
That's right.
Well, congrats to everybody who went, and thank you all. You guys represented Fling Golf incredibly. It was so fun to see all the coverage, and now get to talk to you guys. The excitement that you guys are sharing with us probably makes us want to do it, right?
Yes.
No?
Can't knock it till you try it.
All right.
I don't run.
Guys, thank you so much for being with us. We're going to let you go, and we will see you guys shortly. Up next, we are bringing back to the show Britt Hammond, our Pennsylvania women's champion. But she's now here in a co-captain capacity for the Delaware Titans, the evil empire, the Delaware Titans. But she is here to talk about the Mid-Atlantic Melee that's actually happening this weekend, and we've got the pairings up here for Saturday and Sunday. So, Britt, what do you want to tell us about this event coming up and some of the key pairings as you see it?
First of all, I'm the captain now.
Oh.
I've been waiting to say that.
My bad.
Just for this weekend, while Austin is on injury and recovery. So, it's going to be really fun. Zach and Austin have been teaming up to set this all up, and they have gone back and forth with the pairings over the last couple weeks. So I think a key matchup is going to be the women's foursome on, I think it's Saturday. Yes.
Yeah.
Krista and Julie
Ooh.
versus Christina and myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be fun. I also think hang on, this is really small for me to read. And I forget where. The Big Cat and Jamie Braley versus Lucky Jack and Austin Hanby. I think that'll be a fun one. Excited to see all the PA people who haven't been traveling to WLF events. So I think it's going to be a really fun weekend. And it's the same format, obviously, as when you guys came over here. So we're going to be doing scramble and then 4-ball on Sunday.
I see Roy Neff's going to experience Purple Rain.
Yes, Roy decided it was time to enter the club series after he just premiered in the Keystone Cup. He wants redemption and he wants to do well.
Well, he played well, and all he's got to do is get it to the green, because Purple Rain will take it from there.
She pulls many tricks out of her sleeve. So,
right,
we're really looking forward to fun matchups.
So much like our event, Saturday was very fun, and it provided an opportunity for the scoring to be very close. But Sunday kind of ended up where I think, at least my opinion, you're going to see in this club series is Sundays where the separation will occur. What's some of these matchups Sunday that you feel like might be keys in getting points for the Keystone crew, because they're going to beat you?
Well, I have to say, the Iceman has thrown it down. He said he's going to stomp out PA this weekend. So he's matched up in some tough matchups both days. He's going against, I think it's Zach on Sunday. Am I right?
He's going against Zach and Pat Wheeler on Saturday.
There we go.
Yep, and then Bill Snyder.
Big Cat on Sunday.
He wants a piece of the Big Cat, huh?
He does. Yeah.
Wow.
So he's throwing it down. He's saying they're going to win. And I think Saturday, again, the matchups in the scramble end up to be pretty close. Some of the other key matchups, I'm teaming up with Jeff Summerfield, the Waterman, for the first time ever. So that should be fun.
You're going to have a ball.
Excited to play.
Yeah, he's the best to play with.
Yeah, we've played just at the Classic and also at Lala's course together, but not as a team. So this should be fun.
Listen, we'll probably see you out there smoking a cigar.
Well, I told him we should get matching cowboy hats, and we can just wear those when we play.
That's awesome. Yep. All right. So what is your prediction? I mean, obviously, I know you're a Delaware Titan, and apparently now you're the captain. Like, I mean, how do you see this playing out? What kind of score prediction are you going to throw down?
Oh, I don't
I
know
mean,
if I can do a score prediction.
Vegas wants to know.
So this is the only thing I would say on the downside is when you guys came to us, we had a course that everyone's played.
Yeah.
So we have not played this course. We have not
Ooh.
seen this course, and we won't see it until day one.
Mhm.
So
Advantage
they
of the
definitely have a home field advantage here. I don't even know if I can say a score. I feel like it's going to be. I think it'll be within 2 points. I'd put
Okay.
it within 2 points.
Okay. So first team to what, 5.5? Is that right?
Yes, I think.
Is it 5? Yeah. Yeah. Or no?
Yes.
5 on
Yes.
5 on Saturday and 5 on Sunday. So 5.5 points wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying like 6-4.
Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah,
6-4,
but I think it'll be close.
6-4 PA?
No, Titans. Of
It honestly
course.
looks like just looking at the matchups is going to come down to Sunday.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too. Yeah, I think so too. I think there's a chance it's going to be similar to us, where it's going to be like 3-3, 3-3 on Saturday, and it's all
You
going to
guys
be
had us nervous for a little bit.
for a minute.
For a minute. Yeah.
For a
I mean,
minute.
it was looking real tight at the start of Sunday. So we'll see if it's the same in PA or not. We'll see if we have any information to give you guys on them.
Awesome. Very cool. So listen, good luck this weekend. Hope you play well. Have a blast with Summerfield. But I am so sold out on this club series thing because it was so much fun. A great format, just a way to do it in terms of get to play with multiple people in different venue, in different format. So you guys are going to have a blast. We're jealous that we're not playing this weekend. But good luck and have a ball. And please get us some content that we can come back and talk about how this went on the next Unleash podcast and hear from you guys.
Yes, for sure. Thank you guys very much.
Yeah, we'll see you.
Bye, Britt.
Bye.
All right. So our last but not least,
I was going to say, can we get to the points already?
Yes, here we
dying.
go. Here we go. We got the commish back in, and we are officially going to roll out the updated point standings and rankings here at the end of the show. We got the commissioner. The commissioner's running the controls, so he's doing this off the internets. So we're going to let him take the wheel here. Commish, let's go.
All right. And all of this stuff is live on worldleagueflingolf.com. You can see it on the homepage. And then you can, where I am right now, is if you drill into the stats section, you can see the view that I'm looking at right now and drill further into that. Let's walk through it. All updated as of after the Keystone Cup. We'll start with the Masters division because it's probably the least sort of drama or surprise right there. Jeff, clearly you're still number one ranked. Michael Cutter has definitely solidified himself in the number two position, at least on rankings. Brian, I think he remains at number three, but he had another great performance, so he's that sort of top three is solidified. In terms of sort of movement there, and Tim sort of foreshadowed this in his discussion. You see the captain down here at 10. Granted, really the only thing holding him back from a higher ranking is really he's slightly under the minimum with just 3 events, and then the first one that he competed in South Carolina was definitely his lowest event by far. And that was like a sort of an outlier. If you look at his last 2 results, he is sort of in that 4 to 5 range now. If you just look at the last 2 events, he'd actually be ranked, I think, right behind Brian. So he's definitely someone that's trending upwards. Going from rankings to season points, once again, no surprise here on Jeff. You've already held the trophy for winning the season championship based on performance so far, so you've locked that up. Right now, it's a race for number 2. E right now is in second place, but depending on what happens in Missouri, there could be certainly movement there for how that works out. And just so everyone knows, because it becomes very important when you start looking at the women's and especially the men's, the season points is your best 3 of 4. So when you look at, E and Mark Thompson, Tab Thompson, they're, right now, they can only improve their position, but they're not just adding like a significant number of points, which is why if you look at, Cutter in 7th place, he's only competed in 2 events. So if he competes in Missouri, he basically takes all the points he gets in that event and adds that to his total. So he could easily leapfrog up to 2nd place if he competes in Missouri. So still some, some drama left in how the sort of second race for 2nd place is going to play out in the in the men's division. Let's switch over. We'll start with rankings. Switch over to the women's division. There's probably no surprise. We had another flip flop up at the top. So Britt now with her win, if you remember, started in number 1 rank going into the season. Number 1 ranked, obviously, after she won in South Carolina. Amy then took over the number 1 ranking after the New Swarm Classic. But it was very clear, because it was very close then, that whoever between the 2 of them finished higher was going to take over the number 1 ranking. Although Carla always had a chance to somehow wedge herself in there with her string of 2nd place finishes. But right now, Britt definitely back on top of the rankings over Amy, with Carla then in 3rd right now. Then you've got sort of 4, 5, 6. It gets really crowded between. Look at Chris and Brittany. They're basically like 2 points away from each other on the ranking. So you could definitely, Brittany's right on Chris's tail for taking, jumping up into the 4th ranked women's player, and Rosie's not far back from the 2 of them. So Missouri could be very meaningful on the ranking side. Switching to points, back to women's. No surprise here. Britt's on top with her, winning 2 out of the 3 tournaments. So Amy's behind her, and then Carla's in 3rd. Going into that last event, and I think we'll do a deep dive, certainly with Tim on our preview show for the Midwest Shootout. But some interesting stuff here is that Britt is definitely in the driver's seat, but she's by no means locked up the season championship. Amy, with a win in Missouri, can overtake her, although it sort of depends on where Britt finishes. Because then it becomes more about where did you finish in tournaments that you didn't win, could decide the season championship. Same thing with Carla. I think she's got an outside chance. If she wins in Missouri and then other things go her way, all of those points that she got for 2nd place certainly could help her case. So she's not out of the running for season championship as well. So a lot to look at going into Missouri. There's a lot on the line for the women. Wow. Let's now switch over to the men. Similarly to what happened in the women's division, Sam now regains the number 1 spot for the time being after Keystone Cup. But look how close that gap is. I mean, 2 out of 1,000
2.5 points.
It's crazy how close it is right now. In fact, it was very close after Low Country Open going into New Swarm Classic. Austin then took it by winning there. And Sam finished 2nd. This sort of reversed that, but it even puts them sort of even closer together than they were after South Carolina. So this is a complete dead heat. And I think it's going to come down to, we'll solidify this when we start running the numbers in advance of sort of a forecasting tool for the rankings. You can do it actually right now if you put that together. But I'm pretty sure that pretty far down that leaderboard, whoever between the two of them, even if they don't, neither of them win it, finishes ahead will probably end up number one ranked. I
Winner
don't
take
know if
all.
someone like Jacob could catch them for the number one ranking by winning in Missouri, although it might be close. That's something we need to do, sort of forecasting. And what a lot of people can put scenarios together on the actual stat site itself. So I encourage people to go check that out. Switching to, that's the ranking side of things, switching to season points, shift over to men's. You've got Austin slightly ahead of Sam right now, based on really their sort of non-winning finishes. I think Sam had it was a tie, whereas Austin, I think it was a fourth place tie versus a third place tie. I think that's what's really separating them right now. And similar to, what you had with Cutter in the Masters, Jacob down here with only 2 events. If he plays in Missouri, all of his points from Missouri are going to count towards the season points. Whereas Austin and Sam, they can only improve to the extent their finish is better than a finish. They're essentially third out of the 3 finishes because you can only count your top 3 or 4. So they don't have as much to actually gain. But whatever they could eventually gain in Missouri could be the difference between a season championship and second place. So really, you've got a lot of interesting scenarios on the men's side, and I think it's probably a 3-horse race for who can win the season points championship. Although even if you go down to, Titus, I think there's maybe, it would be tough even with a win in Missouri to actually overtake Austin or Sam but I think there is a scenario where that happens. And it's where Austin and Sam effectively gain no points from Missouri because it's not better than it's their worst of the 4 finishes.
I got you.
And then Titus's win will probably put him just over the top. So he's definitely not out of it. He needs to win at a minimum to get it, and then he probably needs Austin and Sam to finish 3rd or 4th or maybe 4th or 5th. But it's that scenario's out there. And then you also have, there's certainly other great players out there that could win it, Obi or Brett winning or Zach for that matter, winning in Missouri. Now things get thrown completely into disarray because you've got 4 tournaments and 4 different winners. You get most points from winning. So the men's is really, for the season points championship, is wide open. And I think it's something we'll have Tim really do a deep dive on this and all the scenarios so that we sort of know.
Oh,
but I think it's going to get complicated real fast. But I couldn't be more excited for sort of where we stand. Really across all the divisions heading into Missouri. I think it's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah, like I kind of went from wondering whether Missouri was just going to kind of be something at the end of the season that, folks would look like it doesn't matter, but it's going to matter huge.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, it's going to be a great event regardless if it wasn't setting up this way, having, year-end awards there on Sunday at the awards ceremony and everything we're trying to sort of pack into that weekend. But
Yeah.
it's really going to come down to it. And just the way these divisions have gone, there's going to be a lot on the line, and it could be a finish that's not necessarily a win that actually decides how these things are determined, at least in the men's and the women's division.
Well,
Men's and women's.
It turns out we misspoke during the Pennsylvania tournament recap because I was talking to Sam about being previously number 1, not knowing that he actually is number 1.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Congratulations, Scantron. My bad.
Yeah.
All right. So, Commish, anything else on the points or anything as we wrap things up here?
One thing to highlight because Tim pointed this out. I'll just it's an interesting shout out here. In terms of like movers, one of the big movers was Jared Culver, who's now ranked 12th. You see, it certainly gets really crowded within that ranking. And I think before that he was maybe like 19th or somewhere between 17 and 19. But I think it might have been 19th. So it was a pretty big jump up for him. And I think, and it's great to see because he's been playing really phenomenally this season. But also it's interesting because he's pinged me from time to time where, you know, he's done better in tournaments and but his ranking was going up, but it wasn't moving in these sort of big jumps. And I sort of told him, look, the way it sort of works based on past events getting sort of less weighted as the season goes on, and just the way the weighting formula works, sometimes you have these incremental movements, and then all of a sudden there's a big jump because you're in this really sort of packed field, and then all of a sudden you've done something that has really sort of, you know, distance yourself, not necessarily distance yourself, but put you ahead of that pack. It's still very, you know, tightly. We've got, you know, a lot of people, you know, 4 or 5 people above, you know, right around 600 or above. But it was good. I think it's good to see that he'll be, I think, encouraged to see that these incremental movements, all of a sudden he had a big movement in the rankings, and well deserved.
Listen, he has all the tools. He definitely can. Yeah. He definitely can put it together.
Yeah. No, and encouraged to see him keep playing and see where he goes, because no, it's really a lot of hard work has paid off for him, which is great.
All right, Commish. Well, listen, thank you for riding this out with us. Extra long episode, but we had a lot of people on tonight.
Yep.
A lot of good stuff in the fling golf community going on between the speed fling, the tournaments, the Tulsa Twister coming up. And just all the things, the Melee coming up this weekend, the Fling Golf Club Series. You've got to be happy with all of the things going on in the fling golf world.
No, yeah, you really, I couldn't be more sort of ecstatic as to where things are going, and all of these sort of different branches, and they're going to be more of them, and some will be sort of organized by us, other ones will just be people taking the reins and trying new things out. And we're trying to provide, you know, some, you know, in certain places a framework, or at least supporting it where we can. But we certainly don't want to be, you know, holding people back from furthering things in this sport. And it's just great to see. And it's that passion that the community has, going in all different directions with it. And, you know, I think, you know, French talking about wanting to, you know, set up a, you know, formalize a sort of, you know, fling golf club in Oklahoma so that they could take on a Texas club. And I really look forward to more of these clubs, you know, formalizing, like the 3 that are competing now. You've got other ones. I mean, the Zia Crew is a club, and I'm sure they'll be sort of competing as a club at some point in the future. But I really, you know, encourage other people to try, you know, forming these clubs. They don't have to necessarily be in a level that can compete with a team that has a bunch of pros on it. That's not necessarily the point day one. It's more about that hyper local, hyper regional sort of camaraderie that goes with playing with, you know, players, bringing new people into the sport. The competition will follow. If not immediately, it will follow down the road. But I really encourage people, develop these clubs so that you can, you know, start playing fling golf with other players. You know, develop that camaraderie, the even logo, the name, and just whatever, you know, traditions then you put on your club. You know, it's just a great thing to see, and I just encourage people to run with it. And we're always there to support, you know, these new clubs in any way that we can.
Well, Commish, thanks again for being with us tonight. Again, always appreciate everything you do and the preparation you put into being ready for the podcast along with us. And we look forward to seeing you soon. And you have a good one, and we'll be in touch.
All right back at you both. Taylor, Jeff, always a pleasure. And thank you for all the work you guys put into this.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys. All right, so here we're going to wrap things up. We had a great show tonight. Appreciate everybody that hung out with us. And again, awesome job. And I did forget one shout out. Tomcat, in case you're wondering, this is the Empire State Open hat.
For the second time.
I've wore it twice. And I've yet to see you in the comments recognizing the hat. So Tomcat, we're gonna need you, brother. But again, thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show, and we will be doing clips. And please look for look for the special segment that I put together that I didn't get to show tonight on our trip to Alpine Lodge. There's a lot of good fun stuff in there from the teacher and I getting to play, and we always have a good time together. So beautiful.
You're okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you're beautiful. I love you and I appreciate you doing this with me. And guys, as always, hardcore out.